Hello, my name is Stacy Harder, and this is just a message that's coming to me, and I feel like I should share it. So I want to start with today, and in general in life, we're going through a huge transition, and I know you can feel it. So I want to give you my truth. As we know, there's many teachers out there, there's many books, there's all kinds of everything available to us if we ask. But I do feel it's important, and it's a lesson that I learned from my mom, is to always ask for guidance, protection, and to know truth. So before you listen to anyone, I do suggest you always ask to know truth, so your body can say yay or nay. You will know instinctually, you will know internally truth. And this time especially, it is important for us to tap into our own truth. We're being programmed subconsciously, subliminally, from years to current, that it is an interesting time because it's our sovereignty that we are finding. And so in that process, we have to be able to see what is truth, to know what is truth, to feel what is truth to us. Every single person is their own person. So what's truth to you might be truth to a different person. And so this is my version of truth for this current climate. It's technically August 20th, 2020, as I leave this message. Feeling. I feel one of the most important things we can do in this time, in this day, in this moment, is to be in the moment. I believe all of our lifetimes have gotten us here for here. So everything we've experienced is preparing us for this moment. We have come to this planet for this time. It is not by accident. If you're curious about the process of that, my mom wrote a book over 30 years ago. Many were called, few were chosen, and it's the story of earth-based volunteers and the Mother Earth. So this is a really good book on who, how, and why we came here. And we're here for it. We are literally in the ascension. Brings me tears of beauty knowing that we're here in this together. And that I believe part of how we move through this is our feeling and breath work. Those two things help put us in line with source. Now, I consider source, some people call it God, the divine, the consciousness, the divine conscience. There's all kinds of different words and terms. Find the one that's right for you. But to me, we all come from a higher source, all of us. We are all aspects of one. We are all connected as one, playing out our roles in the complete brilliance of all this divine magical place called Earth. That we're in a human body. We are not a human body, but we are in a human body, experiencing it in a human world. But our actual soul, our who we really are, is so much bigger and so much more incredible than we can ever imagine. And as Jesus would say, you know, whatever I can do, you can do even greater. That, believe that. This is the time to believe in yourself and believe you can do anything and everything. And so right now, we're not here just for this lifetime. We're clearing karma. We're clearing past life, ancestorial for the collective. So you could be feeling all sorts of stuff. And that it's really important right now to stay out of judgment, to see it and witness it, to not get attachments, to not judge it. That whatever comes up, let it come up. If you have tears of sadness, good, cry it out. One of my secrets that I've learned through the practice of Tantra in my school of Source Tantra Yoga is we have a vagus nerve that's in the back of our throat. So when we're sounding, we're actually stimulating our vagus nerve, which helps rewire our brain. And trauma is a very detailed thing. I can do another video later about going deeper into trauma. But as we're releasing all these things that are coming up, I find it very helpful to make a sound and allow it to vibrate out of you. It's like we do it naturally sometimes out of frustration, like we don't even make conscious thoughts. So if you can take the time, whenever you have a strong feeling, strong emotion come up, take 3 breaths. Take a deep breath, and if you're alone in your car, sound out what you're feeling. So if you're feeling anger, like as you take a deep breath in, whatever that sound could be, it could be like a release, it could be all kinds of things, but by giving it a sound, you allow it to also another vibration, another way to rewire and get out of your body. So again, the feeling arises, perfect. Hold space for it. Notice, what is this feeling you're feeling? Where is it? What kind of pain does it feel? Does it feel sensation? Is it hurt? What does it look like? And just as I do, like imagine like a baby, and you just hold it. Allow yourself to feel the pain. Allow yourself to feel the trauma if it's coming up. As it comes up, we don't have to hold on to it. We don't have to attach to it. We just see it in its wholeness. So it's like you can almost observe it from a third dimension, like you're watching it play, so you can just see this is what's happening. Again, you don't have to hold on to it for long. You just let it process through. And the more you do it, the easier it is. So feeling, right? Sounding it out, witnessing it, not judging it, not holding it on to it, and just allowing it to be, to me, is one of the greatest gifts you can bring to yourself right now. And that feeling, in my opinion, is also how we wake up from the matrix. We're so trained to avoid our feelings, stuff it, eat it, smoke, drink, hide, right? We're patching the holes with our heart with trying to cover it with something else. And now's the time to come back to our bodies, to ourself, because in this ascension process, a lot of people talk about the 3D to 5D. Well, in order to get to that 5D, we have to get into our temple, into our vessel, into our human body. This is not by accident. We are so magical and so capable. Science can't even figure out how our body works in totality. We use a small percentage of our brain, right? Tiny percentage of our brain. Our heart, how does it have electric pulses? How does it have electromagneticism? We don't know. Our DNA, they say, is so much more magical than we can ever be aware. So set your intentions. You have a team, you have angels, you have guides that respect free will, because as you chose to come into this body, this is again my beliefs, as you chose to come into this body, we all have different lessons, we all have different learning, we have all different purposes. So I believe as light workers, we've chose to pull on a lot of extra work. So if you've had a really challenging life, if you've had abuse, trauma, addictions, it is not by accident. Most of us experience all that because we're here to help the collective rise. And so we have to understand that pain the most. We have to live through it in order to show other people how to get through it. So it's nothing happens by accident. Second, there's so many layers to this, so I'm doing my best to stick to the simplicity, but there is this depth that can go much deeper. So if you do have questions, please feel free to write them in the comments or email me or message me, and I will do my best to get back or even ask more questions and do more videos. This is the beginning of what I hope to do more videos. So maybe you can see more. If you're on YouTube watching this, please subscribe and share if you feel that this resonates with you. Okay, so 3 dimension, and again, my mom talks about this in her book, and again, this is over 30 years ago. 3D is a very duality. So it's love, it's hate, it's fear, it's faith. It's this duality, so you have both extremes, so you get to feel both. 4th is kind of like the bridge getting you into 5th, and 5th is the bliss. It's the divine union. It's the love. It's joy. It's all these, God, Jesus, divine consciousness, all this kind of blissful state. So in order for us to get here and from the 3D, we have to first realize we're in this 3-dimensional, we're in this duality. If you notice, we're fighting so much more right now. We're arguing. People have the most intense political hate than I've ever seen in this country. And so my suggestion is to acknowledge it. When you see it happening, when you're feeling it, just witness it. Oh, wow, I'm getting really angry about this. What is this showing me? Oh, wow, I'm getting really hurt by this. What is this showing me? Instead of being attached to the anger and getting heated and trying to engage in a fight, just witness it. I'm like, wow. Again, no judgment, no comparison, and no fear and no anger, right? Just witness it as it is. It is teaching us. The universal gift is we can ask, right? The universal law is we will receive. So it's talked about in the Bible and many other things around the world. It's always there. Asking, you shall receive. So I believe if you're experiencing things, ask, what is this teaching me? Why am I experiencing this? There's nothing by accident. I also believe that we chose everything that we've experienced in life. We've chose at some level or not, because it can teach us. My sexual traumas have been the biggest gifts. Yes, I have experienced traumatic pain. I have felt like I wanted to leave my body. I didn't feel connected. I didn't feel safe. I hated being a woman. There's so much intensity that I felt and tears that I had shed. But that gift has gotten me to where I am today. I love myself. I appreciate myself. I understand the body. I've had a back injury where I've been in bed for over a year, barely moving and in pain, no twisting, no reaching. Like I literally was so miserable. I couldn't buckle my pants. But long story short, it also taught me how to appreciate this body, this vessel. Our vessel is what carries us to the next level. Because we're in a human experience, we need the human body to take us there. So please ask yourself, how can I love my body today? Sitting in your body, feeling in your body really allows you to start getting in. So when you start to feel, right, you're actually connecting with the human vessel. I call it our spaceship, right? Our vessel is our private spaceship. We created, we chosen, we picked out who and how we operate in every level. So this body, I used to leave a lot. I used to try not to be too active and grounded, but it is so important to be grounded in who we are into the physicalness, because that's the protection in the fourth dimension to get us into 5th dimension. So just know, and we're also kind of going in and out of 3D, 5D, and you'll feel it. You'll feel the harsh darkness sometimes and pain. And if you're very empathic, which I'm guessing you probably are because you're watching this, that I find now I can feel the difference between mine or the collectives. But before, I didn't know the difference. I would just feel it and cry and have all kinds of emotional stuff. Now I'm able to tap into it and know that this is the collective, or this is mine, or someone special. I have soul agreements with certain things. And also, I think some of our team members from the other side, we've agreed to on this lifetime to also connect and protect each other. And I know some of those people, and some of those people know who I am too, because I've told you that. I connect you, I can feel your energy. And so nothing is by accident. Trust, believe in the divine. If you're having a hard time, you can also just love it, but surrender it. Ask your team to help you. Okay, team, help me process through this. Release it, surrender it. I have been learning big time, learning of trust and surrender. I am especially with sexual trauma as a child, I like to have everything in my world controlled, because I know I'm safe when I have this, but I'm not. It's just the mind protecting me, thinking I'm safe. So the more I can trust, okay, I'll be exactly where I need to be when I need to be there, the more I can surrender, and to my team and say, okay, team, okay, you can call them angels. There's a Galactic Federation team, whatever you want to say, your spirit team. Call them what you want. Some people have actual names for them. But I literally will connect with them every night. I thank them. I ask them to show me, to guide me, to let me be the best light worker I can be, to let me shine my light, show me what to do for this planet and this time and for the people, and how can I be of service. That's me. So you can come with your own mantra. you know, for the best and highest good of all concerned, show me how to do this, help me do this. And sometimes we choose lessons for our growth. I went through a very narcissistic relationship, and the best gift it did was teach me I didn't show up to love myself. So it's your opportunity now. If you find certain situations you're in, don't judge, don't criticize. I could have beat myself up. How would you stay with someone for 5 years? Why would you allow this person to talk to you this way? And I was doing my best. I wanted to love them because I could see their pain. I didn't want to exit them because I didn't want to fail them. But guess what? I was failing myself. So what happens is we have the mirror. When other people are making us feel a certain way, please pause and ask, what is this teaching me? Well, I'm mad at him for abandoning himself, right? Or herself or whatever. But the reality is, if that's just a mirror, you take out that person and say, this is my mirror. How am I abandoning myself? And it's like, poof, I totally didn't show up self-love. I can never truly love someone else until I can love myself. And so for me, in order to expand and open up to the divine union, to the divine love, to the sacred love, I have to learn to love and stand up for this, me, myself. And so it is a beautiful gift. I don't judge him or her, right? I send them love and where they are and thank them for allowing me to learn these lessons. And I've done that with anybody and everybody who has ever hurt you or felt you. Is I always like to say a prayer. There's different guided meditations you can do. I personally just like to always invite my spirit team. I sit down and have an intentional conversation with their higher self. And I just say, thank you. Thank you for honoring me. Thank you for letting me learn these lessons. Because I also find that those really hard lessons, that probably is not an easy thing to do for someone. And so thank them for doing that, because that's what we needed to be in our greatest self. If you look at Jesus, they say Judas loved Jesus the most, but Judas was the one that turned Jesus in, and that was part of the divine plan. So Jesus knew, he said, I know you will betray me tomorrow, and I just want to say, I love you. And so know that sometimes those betrayals are done on an unconscious love for you as a lesson for you to show up for you. Yeah. So find peace. I like to offer a white rose and honestly look at them and thank them and what they've taught you. And so what have I learned from this experience? I learned how to love myself. I've learned how to have better boundaries for myself. I learned how to be able to speak and communicate from my heart. And I also learned the importance of someone who will listen to me. I learned the importance of someone who actually loves me healthy. I learned that unhealthy relationships don't feel good in my body. And now I can learn how important it is to have a healthy life, to have a healthy communication, right? I've learned some of the most magical lessons. So when my king comes into my life, I'm ready to be his queen. And that to me is a gift. And I wouldn't have been able to be who I am and where I am and how I am without experiencing those dark days. So just know, everything happens for a reason. There is no accidents. This is the time, this is the place we have been preparing for a very long time. So please, don't judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. If you're in fear, great, love the fear, and then intentionally release it. Call in, I bring in my safety. If you have your protection, you have your guidance, and you pray to know truth, you'll always have that. You'll always be guided to where you need to go when. For example, people who have a plane crash, right? They always knew ahead of time, something told me, don't get on that plane. That is your internal guidance. So if you get that feeling, God, I need to go do this, then you go do that. I've had those experiences in light ways. I've had them in big ways, and they've been hugely impactful. And so you have to trust the universe. The universe has your back. Everything happens for a reason. I literally been at a hotel before, couldn't find my car, and I'm like, I was literally told to go downstairs. Now, sometimes your communication is not that strong. This one was very clear. You have to go downstairs. So I'm thinking, I don't need to go downstairs. I don't need to go downstairs. Stacy, go downstairs. And so I'm like, okay, go in. And I'm like, well, why am I going downstairs? What is it? And it was like, Stacy, stop asking questions and go downstairs. Like, it was the loudest voice I have ever heard in my entire life. And I'm like, okay, I'm walking, I'm going. Well, it turns out I met one of the most beautiful, incredible souls that have gifted me in seeing a light inside myself I have never experienced before, and feeling something that is so beautiful and so pure. So again, you have to listen to yourself, especially right now. This is a time that we're learning how to tap in. I feel our solar plexus is a lot of your higher self, your heart, right? Your throat. You can just send the intentions. I want to speak everything through love and light. But this is our friend right now. Tap into your body. Feel your body. Let your body be the ascension tool to bring us into the 5D. That love, that bliss. We're so magical. We're going to be able to create and manifest all these things in the most beautiful ways. But we have to be able to get through this dark days in order to be able to live in light. I know when I was in my deepest, darkest days, I always said that to myself. Okay, as deep and as dark as I'm feeling right now is going to be as high and as blissful as I'm going to be able to experience. So that's what gives us the appreciation, the understanding, and the witnessing of how beautiful that love and that light really is, and that divine connection in self. When you're there, nothing can penetrate that. And that is our greatest shield. That is our greatest weapon, is love, is light, is knowing who you are, knowing you are powerful, knowing you're sovereign, knowing that nobody can affect this. I do believe in the auric energy fields and protection. It's another part of your daily practice. Set up an energy bubble. You can surround yourself with white light. Some people see Merkaba. You can do all kinds of things, but it's as simple as you want it to be or as complex as you want it to be. Our mind creates our reality. So for me, I like simplicity. So I just set the intention. My mom calls it a cosmic condom, but I literally just put this bubble of shield. So nothing but pure divine love can penetrate me. Any thoughts, any negativity, anything of less than love is returned, and it's like mirrored back with pure love. So it's automatic dismiss or I can't even think of the word. When it hits the shield, it automatically changes and turns into love and is sent back to that person. Because we can be affected by people's thoughts and not even know it. So please find love within yourself. Be kind to yourself. This is the time we need to show up for ourselves more than any time before. In love, compassion, empathy. Those are the gifts that bring us into it. So again, you don't know how to ground yourself. Sometimes just pushing on your legs, like squeezing, you can do body things, right? That sometimes just helps get yourself grounded. I like to visualize from the bottom of my feet. I go 2 deep roots going straight into the earth. It's almost like a road. So it's like a 2-lane highway going straight into the core of the earth. And I love the core because that is the center. That is the of Mother Earth. And I just attach myself around her. And then 1 lane goes down, and then the other lane comes up from that core and comes right into me. And it's as simple as now almost like your blood flow. Anything that no longer serves you, you can just release and give back to Mother Earth. She transmutes it and turns into this love, pure energy of pure light, and gives it back up. And then I love to imagine opening up my crown. Some people call your crown chakra. And I just connect to that divine source energy. Some people see it as a white light. Some people see yellow light. Some people see purple light. I don't feel that color is important. It's whatever you're guided to. Some people also are attached to different planets, and so those colors might come through more, but go with what feels right to you. Always open up to love and light. And I believe part of why we're here in this body is because we're here to connect the divine, to connect with the Mother Earth. And those meet in our heart. And then I just love seeing that radiate all around me, to all the people, to everything I eat, to everything I do, to every step I take. And I literally just see that rippling out into the planet. And I love to see it wrap around the Mother Earth of just pure love. Let her feel the love. Let her be thankful for all the air she gives us, for the water she gives us, for the oceans, for the trees, for the birds, for the clouds, for the sun. All of it is a gift. And that universal law, what you give, so too shall you receive. So as you send that out, just now imagine receiving all that back into you. And feel that. Let your body and your cells remember what love feels like. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being on this planet right now. You're not alone. We are in this together. And you put intentions. I want help. I want a team. I want a tribe. You will find it. We are now waking up to each other. And the more we come together and do things together, the bigger impact we're going to make on this planet and this world, and the faster and the quicker we can make it happen. So be the love, be the light you are. If you have more questions, let me know. But again, feel. Let it come up. Make sounds to release it. If you're in a very traumatic state, one thing you can do, there's several things you could do. I'm going to give you two. If you're in a meeting, for example, and you're finding yourself really stressed, so we have left brain, right brain. There's all kinds of different parts of the brain, but with trauma, we're still learning a lot about trauma. There's a lot of books I can recommend if you want to learn more about trauma. But just know we're going to teach a couple things right now that will help you deprogram that current trauma state. Because when we get re-traumatized, we can reprogram into our body. So it's real important to deprogram. So a simple thing you can do, take your thumb in one hand and your pointer finger in the other. And you're going to stick it in the hole. Stick it in the hole. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. So one thumb, one pointer finger in the hole, in the hole. And then you take turns and you squeeze. So squeeze, 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 squeeze. I'm teaching you this because this is something that's really easy to do and no one has to see you doing it. You can be at your desk. You can be in a meeting, right? You can be meeting someone. This is just something really simple, really easy. And just the back and forth squeezing will really help. It stimulates both the sides of the brains. It does all kinds of things. Just know that this is a very helpful thing. Okay, so that's one. Another one is haven. We kind of do this naturally sometimes too when we need to be held. Hold yourself, right? You can sway. It's a natural nurturing thing. You can squeeze. You can do downward strokes. There's one that's called the butterfly, and it's like wings, right? You can do back and forth. So there's a couple ways, but this in itself really also helps calm you down. So those are just a couple quick techniques to move through if you are going through intensity. Please, please, please be kind to yourself. You've gone through a lot. And just know that we love you. And now more than ever, we need your love. We need your light. And together we can make this transition as easy and as quickly as we choose. And the beautiful thing is the love and the light always wins. We just get to experience what we want to experience. So what do you want? I would love a free ease and grace. I would like to get through this transition quickly, effortlessly, and easily. And make your intentions. I want to have love. I want to have lots of laughter. I want to have joy. I want to bring in the people surround me with ease and grace. I let go of all the people that no longer serve me. You'll probably notice you have a lot of friends, a lot of relationship changes, because as you evolve, you can't be with lower vibrations anymore because you're up here. So it's no judgment, it's no less than, but as you radiate higher, you will draw in higher and it matches you, right? So that's, you can't expect love and light to be in a fear, scared mentality. It just doesn't, they don't vibe. So just know, you gotta vibe with your tribe, and you'll know, you know instantly people who are just like, that's my jam. So for today's lesson, thank you for listening. So much love and so much light to you. Mwah. If you want to get a hold of me, I'm stacyharder.com. If you're on Facebook, I'm Stacy Harder. That's S-T-A-C-I-E, and not softer, but harder. I'm also on Instagram, Stacy Harder, all one word. My mom's website, if you'd like to get a hold of her, order any of her books. She's got some amazing books. There's even one right now on the Dimensions and Awakening. So it's the Divine Consciousness, but it's moving through the third to fifth. Perfect Power and Consciousness, Seeking the Truth through the Subconscious and Superconscious Mind. And then my favorite, which you go to read, is Many Were Called, Few Were Chosen. And it's the story of Mother Earth and the earth-based volunteers. I do recommend going to her website because they are a little bit cheaper on there. Someone bought on Amazon, but it's twice the much. And so, yeah, there's Egypt. We do spiritual tours to Egypt every year. And pretty magical stuff. So just thank you for listening. My mom's website, I don't know if I said it, is heatherharder.com, H-E-A-T-H-E-R, not softer, but harder, H-A-R-D, is in dog, E-R. So heatherharder.com and stacyharder.com. Thank you so much for joining us and joining me. I'm so used to being on calls with her, so I'm kind of used to that. But again, I love you. I love you. I hope you love yourself. And thank you. We're in this together. Love. Dun, 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 dun. All you need is love.